Well, I thought while I was sitting here for a minute while we kind of laid up from the hospital and all that, I'd kind of give you a gear review. I'm going to tear my pack down, get ready for the evening. I might tear it down anyway so I can have the stuff that I need to stay all night in here. While I was at it, I just thought I'd show it to you one piece at a time. I guess my main piece of equipment right now would be my pack, which is, if you look at it, it's Teton. It's the 3400 Scout Series. It is a bulldog, a monster. It will take it and take it and take it and take it. You chuck it over a hill if you want to. Walk down the end of the hill, pick it back up, drag it on back up on top with you, and your pack's going on. As far as comfort, I would have to say it's an exceptionally comfortable pack. The padding is extra thick. I have no problem with adjustability. There are pull down straps all over it. Yes, the one thing that I would add to the pack myself would possibly be another pocket somewhere along in through here to give you just a little more room. Not that you actually need it. If you put your gear in here the way that you need to, you'll do pretty good. But I would have to say the Teton, exceptional product. I paid 55 bucks for this pouch, or pack, not pouch, for the pack itself, 55 bucks. And I don't know how a man can do any better than that. Honestly, it's one heck of an outfit. Pound for pound, all you Alice Pack guys out there, I jacked one of them things around forever and ever. Love them. They're bulldog. You ever want to switch off and try something a little different, look at it a little different, it's as tough as Alice. I hate to say it, but it is. And actually, it might be a little more versatile just because of the pull down straps and this and that. I love the Alice, but I love the Teton. As far as other packs, I really haven't ever tried really any of them. This one is pretty much my first pack besides the old Alice. I'm gonna work on kind of pulling some of the stuff apart for you, show you what I got out here on the trails. I mean, some of the things just plain old staples. I ain't gonna try to work on showing you how to set up or anything like that as I go along. My basic idea is just to tell you how the stuff's working. I mean, for me, Teton, check mark. Next little thing I've got here is the fluffy jacket. My old lady bought this. It's called a heat seeker. Bought this at the Kohl's for me, probably 30 bucks. You can see it's in its pack, but if you want to mash it on up, you can squish this thing, you know, basically down to nothing. Pull it out of this old pack here. Plus, too, as I get done, I'm chucking this stuff off to the side. I ain't trying to go back through it or nothing. But you can see what a good looking little old jacket it is. A little bitty light thing. Fluffy jacket. Got it on super sale for me at Kohl's for, I think, 40 bucks maybe. Any of the other ones. And I'm gonna have to say it does just as well as any daggone other puffy jacket ever put on my body. And them kids around the house had every kind you think of. Cheap and exceptional value. This thing right here has done everything that I have asked it to do, from, I don't know, 30, 35 degrees as my outer coat over top of my wear, and it did its job. All I can say right there, 40 bucks Kohl's. The next thing I see, just get it out of the way. Of course, just my old coffee cup. Coffee cup's coffee cup's coffee cup. I mean, you buy, flip, twin thing, whatever. This is aluminum, old coffee cup. Let's see. Right here's something you couldn't buy from me out here on this trail. This little thing right here, I don't know exactly what brand it is. You blow it up, turns into a little light. Got the solar reflector, solar collectors there on it. Flip her on, 2 or 3 different levels. This thing even does SOS for you if you want it to. Light, cheap, easy, charges itself. Every night I use it, wouldn't be without it. Let's see, let's get this junk out of the way down here. This here, just regular old ZC, does its job, cost efficient, excellent piece of equipment. I use it constantly too. reach down here, and these things here, my just an old bush knife, something to throw in there to make the kids feel better that a bear ain't gonna eat old preacher while I'm out here. Like I said, it ain't nothing, whatever you pack. It's a little big, honestly, for me, but I mean, I brought it more for them and making them feel secure than I did for myself. That, here I've got just a heavy duty space blanket. It's a pretty good size one. It's probably a good 5x8 or something like that. And it's a heavier meal. I use it for a bottom lots of times on the ground. Sleep on top of it when I have to switch from my hammock to the ground. Like I said, it's a heavier, it's not like in little old bitty space blankets. It's a little heavier. Work the weight. Next up, Tyvek. I cut it, put me a few rivets in it, reinforced the corners on it, make it as a tarp, make it as a floor, make it whatever you want. It weighs nothing. This one, it's huge. This thing here, I've got it. It's probably a 4x6 when you stretch it out. I'd say weight total 4 or 5 ounces. Cost didn't cost me squat except for the rivets. So I would say this thing right here to lay all my stuff out, it's again something I wouldn't be without. Cost, honest to God, to myself to build it, $2. Let's see what else I got here. It's on the outside in the way. We'll pull it. Next thing up, poncho. This just happened to be a frog dog poncho. Poncho's a poncho. This thing right here, so far, this is the Anchor solar charger. It flips down, charge your batteries, charge your phone, charge whatever you want. Hang it on your pack while you're walking, whatever you want to do. I haven't really tested it, but it seems to be doing exactly what it wants. Out here on the Appalachian Trail where we've been at so far, I really haven't had any reason to need it, but I'm glad I got it because you never know, you get stuck back up on the hill. So far we've been able to drop into town and get charged back here, there, and yonder, but that, good piece of equipment. What else we got out here? That puts us into our side pockets, I guess. Side pockets. Jug of water, that's just a spare I keep there to, as I go along, I can get in them creeks and stuff, fill it up real quick, don't have to deplete my water pack inside of my pouch myself. This, one of my all-time favorite products, the little Sawyer filter taker, screw it right on top of my bottle right there, water all I want, rehydrate, refill my bottle, take this little old bitty thing, shove her back down in the pocket with my bottle, out of the way, quick, easy, nothing to it. As far as cleaning, keep this little syringe to backwash it. It comes with a straw. You can shove your straw up on the end of it if you want. Like so, like that. Drink it right out of the creek, just like any of them other ones if you want to. Myself, I like my bottle. I get a better drink that way. More, you know, just more. That takes care of water filtration. That's the old Sawyer, and I tell you, it's one of my favorites. One of my favorite products. What else we got down in here? That's just a little tape for muscles, for blisters, for whatever you got. Something you keep in the side. Bug spray. This is Sawyer brand here too. Best I can tell, ticks and things like that seem to be a problem for a lot of the hikers. It's early in the year, so I haven't ran into that. Other than that, these are little old water towels. You stick them in water and they turn into a real towel. Any of y'all ever seen them? They're called Easy Towel. They're big, they're tough, they're dependable, they're easy to handle. Another thing right there, I like them a lot. It's just hand sanitizer. The little thing from a nose menthol or something there I keep shoved in my pack so I can breathe every now and again. I have a little trouble with my sinuses. I just be honest though, when my sinuses are not happy, my favorite thing in the world is called this product. It's called Young Living, and they have a product called peppermint oil. And that stuff right there, I can daub a little bit of it in my mustache, that peppermint oil from that Young Living company, and it'll clear my sinuses just as well. It does just as good. It makes my nose happy. It just does. I can't say it'll work for anybody else, but I use it myself occasionally. but I try to stay natural with the menthol and the oils. Dig down in this other pocket over here, and it's the same way. It's a bunch of old junk, spare lighter, and a little knife sharpener, toothbrush, this and that. A few spare keys, carabiners, that there's some kind of spray again, another lighter. This is all the junk I kind of keep in my pack. Back here, of course, is my towel hanging. This here was a shirt I had out. It was kind of cool this morning. I just had it crammed up here underneath the top. I don't remember what all I put in this lid. Electronic stuff, I think. You got a good inside cover up here on the top of this pack. I remember now. I crammed all my tobacco down in there. Got this problem with dipping. There's my Anchor battery pack. There again, works right on in with that Anchor. I reckon the way that it works with each other, it can't overcharge, it can't undercharge, it can't steal back. I mean, it seems like a heck of a pack. This thing right here, this little pack I've got, I don't remember how many jutes and jolts it is, but all I know is the small one. I can charge my phone with this little thing here. I don't know, over a week, a good week, 6-7 days, easy with no trouble. To address that lid, it's just got my gloves. And then, like I said, they can of tobacco. Then you got another lid. Your lid, actually same lid, just another pocket in that lid. Up in that thing, I've got crammed some trail mix for in the morning. And got some toilet paper and oatmeal for this and that, and there's some chocolate hot cocoa. Got my buff from the OSA boys. I like that. That thing right there is the trick, man. You talk about holding heat in. You put this thing on just about any way you want to, I reckon. I mean, I ain't figured out all the different ways you can. You shove it over your head, keep your neck warm, pull it up over the top of your head, and keep your head and your face, pull it back like such, and do your ears. And, I mean, you guys can read about that crap. That's your stuff there. That's pretty simple. Just showing you what all you can cram in this thing. There's cherry pies. Another thing, that's another one of them things from Young Living. That Young Living's a heck of a company that you boys ought to give a check out to there. My wife, she deals with it. Her name is all through these videos, Mrs. Grizz. If these natural products is something you'd be interested in, I'm sure she could hook you up some way. Shoot me a message and I'll try to tie you up with her. And again, they some more Nutri-Grain bars and trail mix bars. And if you can't tell, these cherry pies and goodies, unfortunately, I am a goodie fanatic. I get out there on that trail and I get to craving all that good sweet stuff. Let's see, that's got the outside pockets pretty much. Yeah, got my camp shoes crammed down in another little side pocket over here. Throw them up there for you. I reckon that'll get me into my main pack and kind of be a little more into the gears that I've used. You get an idea. I mean, again, like I said, I ain't gonna try to tell you how to set this stuff up. Surely at God you can read the directions, and if you ain't got enough sense to be able to set up your tent, hey, you don't need to be out there. You don't. Go out in your backyard, set your tent up a few times, learn how to do it yourself. Don't depend on somebody's video teaching you how to put your equipment together, because once you get out there in the middle of the woods, I don't care what you've read or what you've said, it all changes. You get out in your backyard and you set your stuff up yourself, you learn how to use it. I tell you if it's worth a count and if it's worth anything or not, and you can avoid some of the junk that I haven't been able to avoid. I guess this thing right here is called the Eastern Ridge Camping Tarp. For me, that is the very last thing in my pack and the very first thing out of my pack. It's raining, it's windy, it's aggravating. I got this thing up in the first 2 minutes that I'm sitting there. I got a wind block, I got a rain block, I got a dry Anthony, I got a dry pack, I got my tie back down on the ground, and my equipment is covered and dry almost instantly. Like I said, Eastern Ridge Tarp, heck of a good company. This first aid bag. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of paranoid about the first aid stuff. I've got gear in here that I believe that I could handle a pretty bad bear maul on somebody. Sutures, I've got blood clotting, I've got just about any scenario you can think of first aid wise is inside this pack. There again, you lightweight enthusiasts, I love you guys, I do. I appreciate you all. Don't drop your weight because of your safety. Don't drop first aid. Keep your weight. That's one of the another things right there, worth its weight in gold. And I'll tell you the truth, it's just as easy to build your own. I mean, you can build a kit, go in your bathroom and honestly probably build a decent kit for short hikes and short runs like that. The longer hikes, dig around, find out some of the more important things. Next up, this is something I call emergency gear. It's just junk. It's all kinds of crap inside there. Spare glasses, toothbrushes, this, that, and the other thing. A few ibuprofen. Unfortunately, Pappy here, he gets kind of old. The old preacher, he gets stiff, so I do. I got a few ibuprofen in there. That and I don't know, heck, let's just open her up and take a look down in there. I forget what all was down in it. Yeah, there's a couple of them light things. You snap and break, and a fire starter or two, and that, it's that and other thing. Just junk that I generally need around, that you want to have around. Keep it all in that thing there, crammed in. This next up is probably the hardest thing for me to deal with. That's my food bag. As you can see what kind of monstrosity that is trying to take up pack space. But, man, you get out there and you're hungry. You sure as hell trust that. You get hungry. That digs me on down to, looks like my spare clothes. These here, another pair of shorts in there, another shirt, and 4 or 5 packs of socks, and I think a spare set of underwear, just in case I get in a wreck. That one's for Michelle. What else I got? I got my pot down in here. This is what I cook with. It's a little Stanley outfit, small, compact. You can keep all kinds of junk down inside of it if you want to. Myself, I keep a peanut butter jug. It's got coffee and a package and sugar and salt and, you know, all my little things that you need around to cook with. The stove we've been using is that little Pocket Rocket 2. Bear's got it in his pack over there. I ain't got it to show to you. That's another one, that little Pocket Rocket 2. Heck of a good little outfit. Tiny little bitty thing. I mean, you add an ounce plus fuel, whatever it is. And the fuel canisters, they last. They do exceptionally well for me. I was surprised with them. I thought we'd run into trouble with it, but we've cooked and cooked and cooked and cooked. And between the two of us, cooking back and forth on one can, and we've done really good with it. I've been well pleased with it. But that's my cook pot there. Take me around, and what else I got down there? Oh, this is that Outdoorsman's Lab. It's the sleeping pad. I brought one of these with me. I was just plain out going to use my hammock, and I kept thinking, well, every now and again I might get up in one of them shelters, and I grabbed this little pad and throwed it in here. And I'll tell you what, it's a good thing I did. We get up there on some of them ridges, and that hammock, it's kind of cool, buddy. And I crammed this thing on up in there underneath me, between the layers on the hammock that I'm using, and it does really good. Inexpensive too. I think I paid like $40 for this air pad, and it's one of the favorite ones that I've used over the years. It's easy, it's light, it blows up quick for an old man, and it does have a certain amount of insulation value in that hammock. I can't look at you and say it does any kind of monstrosity job, but it sure cuts out the wind. And you can use it on the ground comfortable. I've used it a couple or 3 times on some real cold nights, and I can honestly tell you it's a comfortable little pad. I go down, take me on down. What else I got down in there? Oh, this is that old Hennessy hammock. I got a Jungle Expedition. This is the double bottom one. I like the Hennessy hammock, but there again, I mean, hammocks are personal choice there too. This little outfit right here is tough. It has done everything that I've expected it to do. It has handled me. I mean, I'm not an exceptionally big or heavy person. I'm maybe 5'8", go about 140 top weight, I guess. Somewhere give or take around there. I got more room than I know what to do within this thing. I mean, and it sleeps. I sleep better in a hammock than I do in anything. I'm not necessarily this particular brand, just a hammock in general. I like the hammocks. But that's the Hennessy there. That's what I'm using on this trip. And that takes me down to, my scriptures. They all yell and talk about the weight on that again. There again, this thing here is probably 2 pounds. That little book there is a heavy book in more ways than one, but I ain't walking the world without the scriptures. If the Lord can't go with me, I don't need to go. And if it's too heavy for me to pack, I don't need to go where I'm going to start with. So I keep a copy of the scriptures with me. All right, we roll on down in there. There again, with a copy of the scriptures, I'm gonna tell you the truth. You're gonna hear me cuss, you're gonna hear me say a word I shouldn't. If you're looking for perfection, look to the cross, look to Christ. You wanna beat me down because I said a bad word and I call myself a Christian? Have at it, bro. I'm down here in the mud and blood with the rest of the world. I'm not perfect. Look to the cross. There again. Takes me back down to probably my second most important piece of equipment, for me personally. My first being that tarp. That gets me out of everything quickly. Last thing being my sleeping bag. I'm gonna set this Teton out of the way. It's pretty much empty. I got my water pouch down in there too. Out hydration pack running around. See my tube running out over here. That water bladder. Water bladder is a water bladder is a water bladder. I can't tell no difference in Bears and mine and Scott's and any of the boys that we run around with on that. To me, a water bladder is a water bladder. Keep it full. Alright, keep it full. That's all I can tell you. You want to climb these hills, when you get on top of the mountain, there ain't no water. Pack it up there with you, or have enough with you that you're gonna have to get down off that thing, because you ain't gonna hit water until probably halfway down in most of these hills up here, as best I can tell. Throw this Teton out of the way. And that brings me down to my sleeping bag. And what I've been running on this trip here is that Kelty Cosmic. It's their mummy style bag. I picked it up in a 0 because I'm a super paranoid. I don't like to get cold. I don't. I mean, you want to talk about 8 ounces of weight on a sleeping bag as opposed to freezing from 3 o'clock in the morning till 5 or 6 when you finally roll out because you're cold. I ain't gonna argue over 4 or 5 ounces, and I'm on to 0. But that's me, you know. But this is Sea to Summit. Seems to be the bags that I use. All the stuff sacks that I've got are Sea to Summit. And there again, I've had good luck with the product. I like it. Does its job, fairly inexpensive. Pick it up at Walmart anywhere you want. You pull that out of there and give you a shot of the old Kelty. This is the Kelty Cosmic here. It packs down fairly decent. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. You can get some of them other ones that pay $500–600 for, and they'll cram them down into the size of that jacket. This one, I think they paid $150 maybe, some $125, something back at Christmas. They all chipped in, got me this bag here, and it's a heck of a good outfit. I ain't got no complaints with it. It's done its job, and it's done its job well. So I reckon that takes me just about through all my equipment, right on down to my old walking stick, which, there again, I think I've got about $4 in the old thing, and that's because I put this shiny finish on it so she wouldn't wear out so bad, and maybe $2 worth of rope I wrapped around up there at the handle. But man, you talk about comfortable. I like the trekking poles, I do, but I like the one armed. I just like to walk along with that old stick, let her flop out there in front of me. And I'll tell you what, it saved my butt a few times. I've hit them, boy, I mean, that, and they all said it'd kind of crack and they figured it'd break, but the ash is tough, so it's hanging in there. So that brings us pretty much to the end of everything that I've got in my pack right there. And I guess we'll talk to you later.